Okay, this is just a quick video to show you the very few things that have been changed in version 1.12 of JS8Spotter. I'm Joe, KF7MIX. So going through here, the change log real quick. First of all, in the forms, there was a bug to where if you were creating your own custom form and you had a character that wasn't workable for it, that it would crash the whole program. That's been handled. Also in the Tools menu and in the View menu, for Tools menu, disable sounds, View menu, highlight range. These used to reset themselves every time you reloaded the program. Those will now be preserved. So if you set it to highlight the last 30 minutes and disable the sounds, it'll remember that next time you start the program. In the Tools menu under APRS, I was made aware that you can actually go to this link and read about how to set up aliases for phone numbers that you want to send messages to. So if you do have aliases set up, this will now accept those characters. It used to just allow numbers, but you can now punch in your alias there so you can send to the alias for APRS. The only other thing that's been changed is under Visualize Waterfall. And this screen is in the Tools menu. It's mainly for trying to find a spot on the waterfall that isn't being too used, although it's getting harder these days. There's a lot of signals out there. But you see how you can find kind of a slot where you can set down and not get too overrun. The other thing that I really wanted to be able to do was to search here based on call sign. So for example, over the last 24 hours, I want to see where people that I know might be placing their stations, especially stations that might be on the air more frequently. Let's search for one. This is just letting me know that if I change the band or the time, it's going to reset to show all. So that way you can see kind of, okay, well, I know this person's always kind of in this area, and you can look for them in that area. Of course, you can pretty much ignore the heartbeat area unless that interests you for some reason. Another thing you can do here, which is kind of interesting, if you have profiles like I do that primarily include call signs, you can export them. Like this is just my contact list of people that I've talked to, and you can hit copy all, and you can go back to there and just hit search, and I'm going to paste that in there, and you can get kind of a list, a whole group of people, and see where they're kind of hanging out. So this is really helpful if you have a net that has a large group of people. What I've found is people tend to go to a certain spot each week during nets, and this will help you find a spot that other members of your net, you're not stepping on them when you're doing signal noise reports and everything else. So those are the only changes in version 1.12 in the program itself. Otherwise, what has changed is the build setup. Basically, I got rid of the Pi installer build. People were complaining about false positives. So figured, well, just no need to offer it if people don't want it. Not a problem. So that's gone, and now it's just the regular build. And I've also broken the database upgrade tool out into its own download. So you have to download that separately, and what you want to do is drop in your DB file into that same folder. If you're in Windows, you'll want to run this .exe file on it. If you're in Linux, it's just a little different. So let's pull up a terminal in that location, and we're just going to go ahead and run it from the terminal. It looks pretty much the same in Windows or Linux, but it looks like this. I've got an old database file in there just for demonstration purposes, version 1.10. We're going to upgrade to the latest 1.12. It tells you down here what's actually being upgraded. There's a new table. So you hit upgrade, it says it's complete. I'll always just run it a second time to make sure it has the right version number there, and now it does show that everything's got the right columns. There's nothing left to do. So that's how that works, and after you've completed that, you then just take your DB file and drop it back in with your JS8Spotter. It's been that way for a couple versions, but I don't think I've made a video about it. So that's how you upgrade your database. And that's all that you need to know about version 1.12.